Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of DeadAnt Survival. It has been long enough, my diamond gear is outdated and I need to upgrade to netherite. So in today's episode, we're going to go through the best ways to get netherite, or ancient debris I should say, which we can then turn into netherite ingots and make our netherite armor. So let's get to it, shall we? Oh. Ow. So there are typically three ways to go about finding ancient debris. One of them is using a pickaxe and doing branch mining the same way you would with diamonds. That way is pretty hit and miss, it's not great, you don't get that much from it. Another way is using beds. So in case you're unaware, beds explode in the nether. When you try to sleep in a bed, it will blow up. But you can use that to your advantage and use it as an explosive to make mining easier. And then the third way is, of course, TNT. That is definitely not enough TNT though. So let's make up a whole bunch more TNT. We've got plenty of gunpowder and we've got plenty of sand, so we can make a whole load of TNT. So that gives us a total of 3 stacks plus 12, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's going to be more than enough for us to get enough ancient debris to get all the netherite gear that we need. So let's go into the nether and see what we can get. So to start your ancient debris mining, you want to make sure it's safe first. So we'll get rid of this guy. Bloody pig. So you do want to be around the same level you normally would for diamonds, which is around y-axis 12 or 13, one of those two. So we are at 55, the lava is right there. So let's go over here and we will dig down the rest of the way. And you always got to watch out for the lava. Lava travels really fast in the nether. I got lucky because it didn't come towards me. But yeah, something you have to always be aware of. If you're really worried, you can bring a potion of fire resistance and that will just give you a bit more time. The great thing about netherrack is it's really easy to break until you hit blackstone. I could be doing this in a more uniform way, but it just breaks so quickly. I'm going to take this gravel because I will need that. So we're at Y level 14 right now. That is going to be low enough because the explosives, TNT and beds will create quite a large area for us to actually go through. So being at this level is fine. Let me clear out a bit of an area and we'll set up a bit of a base. Did I say base? I just meant a little box for me to kind of organize things from. So we've got our TNT, we've got almost 2 shulker boxes full of beds. Now, the beds method is not the method I like, and I'm going to show you why. So let's go ahead and take all these beds out and fill our inventory with them. And that is one of the reasons why I do not like using beds. So as you can see, that's a lot of spaces in our inventory that it takes up. So straight away right now, we just do not have any real room, and we're going to have to come back and get more beds whenever we do it. But let's see how effective it is at actually getting ancient debris. So the starting method is exactly the same for both TNT and the beds, and you've just got to build a big tunnel. And it is best to keep some netherrack on you so that when you get these lava pour throughs, you can just close it up and you don't have to worry too much. Again, you might want to have fire resistance just in case, because it can be pretty quick, but it's not too hard to block it anyway. And it's always just, well, I was going to say it's always just one block. It's almost always just one block. And we have our first ancient debris. So I've actually already got beds full in my inventory, so let me just go a bit further. And there we have more ancient debris. So while you're building this tunnel, this is basically branch mining. So you're going to be finding some, well, there's a chance you'll find some. And again, I haven't actually dropped a bed off yet, so I need to get rid of my bed before I do that. So let's put our first bed here, and we're not sleeping on it yet. We want to get this ancient debris. So we've got our first 3 ancient debris, and we haven't even blown up a single bed yet. But let's start getting explosive. So you've got to be careful with it. You don't really want to be too close to the bed. Like this, it's going to hurt me a bit. If we kind of go off to the side a little bit, it protects us a little bit more. So you can see we didn't actually lose any hearts, and that creates our explosion. So I always get rid of the fire when I do this. Beds will create fire, and you just gotta, well, you don't have to, but it makes it a little bit safer to get rid of the fire. And we weren't very lucky with this one. We didn't get any ancient debris by the look. And we're basically just going to keep on repeating that until we're out of beds. So remembering to kind of take a bit of cover when you do it. Oh, and that's always possible as well. So yeah. That's why I don't like using beds, and I think it's the worst, or not the worst, but the least favorable way of doing it. So again, no ancient debris on this one. And when lava comes out, you definitely do want to be filling it up, because that's just going to cause you problems. You don't want to be dying in lava when you're mining for ancient debris. And we do have our first one from exploding beds, so let's go up and grab that. And when you do grab one, it's always a good idea to just break a few blocks around, just to make sure there's no more in the area, which there isn't. And another one. And there's a good one, double stack. So just to show you the damage difference between hiding and not hiding. So I am as far back as I can go. And that was 2.5 hearts. And I got knocked back into fire. And now we're going to hide around the corner and do it. And we took half of heart, but I think that was mainly from the fire. So you definitely want to be taking cover when you explode the beds. Otherwise you can get hurt. And make sure you got half decent armor on as well. If you don't have half decent armor, don't use beds. They didn't actually make these beds for this. These are just the beds I had left over from my villager breeder. So I might as well blow them up. More ancient debris. Now, what happens if you do multiple beds, you might ask? So let's put 2 beds down and we'll leave one gap in between them. Will it make it bigger? Will it be more effective? Let's see. Pretty sure this is just one bed that exploded, so it is actually worse when you put them both together because you lose a bed. And that is why you want to dig around when you find some, because you'll often find more. And you also want to be aware that when you do create these tunnels, mining areas, you will start to get spawns of whatever biome you're in. So I'm not wearing any gold, so I've got to be aware of these guys. They might attack me at any time. See, here they are. Little dumb. Now I'm back at my rest area, and I've still got 3 beds on me, so I'm just going to use these on a little branch on either side here, or probably over here. I didn't go as far as I wanted originally because I found the ancient debris on the way, so we'll just get rid of them on the sides. So with one shulker box full of beds, I got 15 ancient debris, and I left a trail of fire and death. It is a very slow method. That took me about 20-25 minutes to do. So let's go ahead and use a TNT and see what we can get from that. So we'll start off just with a single stack of TNT. So we'll compare a full shulker box of beds to TNT. Exactly the same thing. You're going to build a nice long tunnel. So you want to be about 3 times the amount of blocks you have of TNT. So I got 64 TNT, so roughly 3 times that is how far you want the tunnel to be. Now keep in mind, I found 1 ancient debris in this one while mining, and then on the other side I found 3. So when we get to the final tally, we'll adjust for that. And then the way we want to play the TNT is leaving 2 gaps in between each, ideally. We're not going to worry too much about being perfect because we want to do it fast. So roughly try and get a 2 gap. If it's 3, if it's 1, it doesn't matter as much, but it's just better overall to be 2. So that is 64 blocks of TNT laid out in our tunnel. We're just going to detonate this first one and create a chain reaction. They're not all going to blow up, but when they stop, all you got to do is shoot the next one again. And we've already got 3 ancient debris in this first passage. Depending on the blocks around it will also often determine how many will blow up in the row. When you see the TNT block just kind of floating there, you do want to put a block underneath it just so that it doesn't fall, because otherwise you'll get a bad chain reaction and you'll blow up somewhere you don't really want. So that's under blackstone, so we can go ahead and shoot that again. You can see blackstone has a much higher blast resistance, so you don't break as much of it. this is DeadAnt from the future. For some reason the next clip disappeared and I don't have it anymore, so I'm just going to do this as a filler. And I've already used the netherite, so I'll be using diamonds to fill in for the netherite, or the ancient debris I should say. So for the beds we got 15 ancient debris. 3 of those we got while mining, so we got 12 from blowing up the beds. And from the dynamite we got 19 ancient debris. 1 of those was from mining, so 18 is what we got from actually blowing up the dynamite. So we've got a clear winner. Using dynamite got us 18 ancient debris, whereas beds got us 12, so that is the better option. So now let's go take our 34 ancient debris and improve our armor. So there we go. Our 34 ancient debris gives us 8 netherite ingots with 2 netherite scrap spare. So that's halfway to another one. Now let's go upgrade our gear. And don't we look so much better now? Finally got rid of the ugly blue and we're repping the netherite. This is what it's meant to be. So 32 ancient debris is what you need for a full set of gear. Gives you 8 netherite ingots when you combine it with gold. So you're going to have your shovel, axe, 2 picks, your fortune and your silk touch of course, your sword, and your boots, helmet and pants. That is what you're typically going to want to be wearing because you got your elytra. So I still have over 2 stacks of TNT in the nether, so I'm going to finish off the episode using the rest of that and seeing how much ancient debris I can actually get from 2 stacks and a bit of TNT. So thank you guys all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you've got a better method of finding ancient debris, let me know. I'm interested to see if there are any better ways. But for now, this is the best I got. So I hope you guys enjoy the episode, and I'll see you all next time.